Okay, we'll call this meeting of the Guam Election Commission to order. It is Thursday, September 19th, 5:31 p.m. We are located here at the Guam Election Commission Conference Room in Oka Building, Tamuning. We are also live stream on the GEC website at gec.guam.gov/board. Quorum is present, myself, Jerry Crisostomo, Chairman, Joe Mafinas, Vice Chair, Commissioner Ricky Orsini, Commissioner Joe Meno, Commissioner Benny Panaula, Commissioner Tony Gumatauto, Commissioner Patrick Seville. Also present is our legal counsel, Vince Camacho, and our Executive Director, Maria Pangilinan. Certification of public notice requirements. This was published in the Guam Daily Post and the Guam Public Notice website on September 12th and September 16th. Approval of agenda. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Meno. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Pinal. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay, approval of minutes. There was actually one meeting on August 15th, and it was reconvened on August 16th and August 21st. So I entertain a motion to approve the minutes, subject to any corrections. Moved by Commissioner Gumatauto. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Seville. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Oppose? The ayes have it. Moving on to item 5, correspondences. Maria?
Robert Torres wrote to us that says that he'll be on the ballot for the judicial retention question, and that's on page 17. And Mr. Delbert Calvo wrote to us on August 19th with regard to write-in names. He's doing a write-in campaign. With your permission, I will just write to him and let him know that we're not, as in the past, we haven't been accepting other names, and it's up to the commissioners to decide as the write-in votes come in.
Oh, you mean he's proposing a variety of different names for the write-in?
Yes, different names,
Okay,
yeah, on page
Yeah.
18. And what we've done in the past is we write back to them and tell them that it's up to the commissioners.
Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, item C.
Oh, okay, so, and then Judge Vernon Paris is on the ballot for judicial retention. And item D is Mr. William Stodden, presidential campaign. He was the last one that we put on the ballot.
Okay. Any questions from the commissioners on any of the correspondences? Let's move on to item number 6, Executive Director's Report.
So, Mr. Chair, you approved the commission approved early voting to be October 14th to 28th. So today we will announce that we are going to Weston for the for early voting. Okay. With the absentee voting, sir, we mailed out the report is on page 26. So today we mailed out 50 ballots that were requested, and we will email 112 e-ballots tomorrow. The deadline to send out ballots, our UOCAVA ballots, is tomorrow. So today we put in the mail the 50, the 50, and tomorrow we will send out the 112 email ballots. And to date, we have 258 homebound requests.
And the homebound starts also on the 14th?
It could start as early as the 5th of October, but what we do is the first week, we put our schedule together so that we can go, in the beginning, we just go to one village at a time. Whereas as the days go by, then we go back to that village sometimes 3 or 4 times.
Okay. Any questions from the commissioners? Yes, Commissioner Singh?
Mr. Chair, I believe we need a motion to approve the early vote center. When we did so for the primary, there was a motion. And just for the listening audience and for those who weren't on the committee, who examined and visited the proposed sites, if maybe one of the committee members can give us a rundown of the proposed sites and just kind of explain and then take it from there.
I know we did an RFP, right, on that, so. A what? Yeah, price quote, yeah. You want to give us a rundown on that?
Mr. Minute was there.
Okay.
So we did a site visit to the Micronesia Mall, and after our walkthrough, I shared with one of the staff from Guam Election that the area that was being offered to us to conduct the election would not meet the specs for the curbside voting, most especially for the curbside voting. That was the first part. The second one was the main entrance of the mall. We felt that the flow of traffic would be so backed up, and they weren't sure how, at least for the designated parking stalls to accommodate persons with disability, it would not, the flow of traffic would just not work. We did propose to them, there's one section of the mall that we proposed that we use that, and that's towards the back side of the mall where there's an existing awning that we could just put up 2 canopies off to the sides to, ensure that if it rain, in the event it rains. But they declined that because it's that the area where we would house the precinct officials, it's not available. It's actually being occupied as we speak, as we conducted also the visit. So we felt that the mall would not be appropriate to hold the early voting.
Were there only, how many price quotes? 2? Weston and the Micronesia Mall? Okay, and then have we touched bases with Weston? Yes, we did today. Okay.
We did today, and you're okay, that's where we'll go.
So we need a motion to approve the Weston. What's the price tag? Same?
Same.
Okay. That's the primary. Okay, so for the early voting that begins on October 14th, we need a motion to approve the Weston, I guess, subject to your final negotiations with them, correct?
Correct.
Subject to final negotiations from the executive director with the Weston. Okay, moved by Commissioner Pinal. Is there a second? Commissioner Meno, second. Is there further discussions? All those in favor say aye. Oppose? Okay.
On the absentee voting, sir, we already did, I'm sorry. The precinct officials, so training started, it seems like we're filling up. And we started our class at the university as well, and we have 47 students in that class. So it's a mixture of undergraduate students who are going to take it for credit, and then the graduate students are teachers who are using the credit for recertification. So we have 13 teachers and 34 undergraduate students. All of them will be part of the class is that they'll be precinct officials as well.
Maria, could we just, during the trainings for our precinct officials, that we just, give a gentle reminder that they follow the script? Because I've made observations during our site visits that they're not actually following the script that is provided by GEC, and I think that's very important. That they're not making up the script. I mean, that's why they provide training and they provide the scripts so that, we ensure that the elections are run smoothly and that, anything outside that they think or they may think is appropriate, that they don't, carry that out. And it's just, again, to ensure that our elections are run smoothly.
Thank
So,
you.
so what's the number of vacancies that you still, I mean, the 47 will be plotted into the precincts,
Yeah,
right?
right
based on-
now, I don't, the last I heard it was Dededo, but maybe that even we're already slotting
Yeah.
alternates. So it seems like we have a good showing. We've had to postpone two trainings, two nightly trainings because we had logistics back up here. But it looks like we're still going to be finished even before early voting with the
Yeah.
training. And yes, we know we've had problems with the instruction cards, but we make sure we give them 5 instruction cards so that each one has one as they take their turns giving instructions. And that one is stressed. So we have some precinct officials coming back. And so they're the ones that are letting us know what they encountered during the election and the issues that we can address now.
And then also the no-shows, right? We had some
Yes,
no-shows.
Yeah, uh-huh,
Yeah,
yeah.
with alternative precinct officials for that. Okay, any other comments or questions on the precinct officials? Okay, monthly voter,
So we're up to 60,000 on page 27. We're up to 60,748 voters, sir,
Okay.
as of August 25th.
and registration continues until
October 22nd.
22nd.
So, yeah, so registration will cease, volunteer registration will cease 21 days before the election, and then district registration starts until October 22nd.
Okay, up until October 22nd. Okay, any questions, comments? Okay, online voter update?
If you notice, we're growing on online voter registration. So in August, we had 93, and there must have been a national push for registration because social media there was activity in social media saying, are you registered to vote? And it takes them directly to our website. So that's why we have 93 new ads on the online voter registration.
It wasn't the National Voter Registration Day just?
Yes, this week,
Recently?
yeah,
Yeah,
yesterday.
yesterday. Okay. But these were prior.
Mhm.
Okay. Moving on to the monthly financial report.
We're good. Financially, you see that our local appropriations, the only problem with our local appropriations is we don't have it down pat. The Guam Election Commission doesn't have it down pat, how soon or how late they pay. So we're working with Department of Administration to check, make sure our vendors from the primary election all get paid. We're not there yet, but there's still some outstanding. But we're working patiently with Department of Administration.
Okay.
And so our financials look good, except we'll work on getting.
The outstanding
Yeah.
payments.
Mhm.
I mean, is there a target to complete that before the start of the
Yes.
early vote at least?
Yes, we're trying.
But we don't know how many outstanding department we have, right? That we haven't paid?
So we've processed all the payments, Vice Chair. But the checks have not gone out yet. So I know, just today we processed GPD, because they just sent us the corrected invoice. The DPW hasn't gotten paid, that's been up there. Even the GVB for the
The
VSOs.
security, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. We're watching it, so since Wednesday, I've been taking notes of which ones are getting paid.
So hopefully they should get paid before the
Yes.
general election,
Yes,
right?
and so the other ones that I was really sensitive to were our food vendors, right? Because
Correct.
they have a hard job, and we want to make sure they get paid so that they can come back and help us again for the general.
Can you keep us posted on that?
I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can target before early vote starts,
Yes.
October 14th. Complete
Yeah,
all that.
uh-huh.
Okay. Office of Inspector General report?
So we submitted some more documents yesterday, and our grant officers said maybe this is the last time, so we're anxiously waiting to see how they close it.
Okay, any questions? Let's go to the election campaign contribution and expenditure report filings.
Okay, so that was due for, that was due for the final was due for the primary,
Yeah.
right? And then now we'll wait for the preliminary for the general.
So what was the status of all the filings? Did
Um,
everybody file, or are there some outstanding?
The Guam Board of Realtors? Yeah, so, yeah, there were two, sir, that haven't filed yet, but, but they should, who's the two?
Who are the two that haven't filed?
Mayor candidate out of Assen, Leslie St. Nicholas, and I think it's the Guam Board of Realtors is the other one. Oh, and one of them, there's a third one, and he's off island getting medical treatment, Stephen Cruz.
Okay, any questions, comments? Any other executive directors report before we
Okay.
move on to old business?
That's all, sir.
Okay, moving on to old business, Campaign Finance Committee,
Nothing.
nothing to report there, right? And the modernizing election process,
We hope to get more people using the express vote machines. We hope that the tabulators work better this time, or work so that it, oh, by the way, Steve Wang is coming. It'll be Steve Wang that will be working with us for the general election. So he's already gotten in touch with us. He'll be here Friday before the election, and we'll have the Sunday test election.
Mr. Commissioner, or Chairman, I
yes,
think we also need to take up, actually, a suggestion that was made by the fellow who was here, was it John? I forget, last time.
Mike, I think.
Mike Dvorak.
Mike,
Oh, yeah.
very nice guy, smart guy. That we would save literally hours if we kept, the goal is to keep the machine, the tabulators running.
Yeah.
And so the software exists, we have, it doesn't just exist, we have the software in our tabulators that if a precinct, let's say 10 ballots are rejected for whatever reason, and they have to go to the Reconstitution Committee, their table, and the rest of the precinct ballots are counted, finished. You don't stop the tabulator. You close up that ballot box and you go to the next ballot box. And then all the ones that have to be looked at or retabulated, or reconstituted, those are all done at the end of the evening. They will go into a separate ballot box, but the software will put the votes in the proper precinct. So the advantage is you keep the tabulators running as fast as you can get the boxes up to them.
Right.
And he said that is a standard procedure, and
Yeah, I think he was kind of
jurisdictions-
surprised that
Yeah.
we were stopping.
And he says, that's why we're there so long.
Yeah.
That and the fact,
requires us to do that. That's what we were trying to explain to him. If we change the law, we can do that. Because those ballot boxes get secured. They get relocked, and they cannot be reopened unless
Once you lock it.
there's a recount
okay.
or there is a review. So now you're gonna have to have extra ballot boxes for each precinct for those individual strays, I call them strays, right? Because, and then you won't have the count until.
You could use Pat.
Here.
So
Yeah.
I think until we change the law, we can't change the process. Because everything needs to be sealed, and once it's sealed, the law specifically says you can't really open that. And I do agree with the suggestion, and it would help in the process, but to do it in the middle of
The
this
county.
current election cycle, I don't recommend it.
So how would the law be changed or amended?
Well, the law can, instead of saying, once it's tabulated, you seal it and you sign it, and then it gets locked in there, we can have a separate provision in the statute that says those that are rejected can be counted separately at a later,
Yeah.
and not part of the precinct counts. Because there's various reasons why ballots are rejected, right? And so then we may not have an accurate count at the end of the, until we, you're still going to have to replicate, you're still going to have to do that before we finalize the end of the night. So,
Yeah. I mean, I think we were, because the machines, the tabulation was new, and it was supposed to count more ballots expeditiously, that we still ended at 3 in the morning. It didn't
Well,
really improve anything.
a lot of the reasons of the rejects is people are not coloring in the ovals. That's not something,
Yeah.
so it takes time. If someone just check marks, the machine will reject that, right? Then someone needs to color it in.
Yeah, we noticed that, I think in this primary, we reconstructed that ballot more than we did in the previous. And
Lots
that-
of
that-
X's and check marks to
Yeah.
get past ballots.
So that's not something that the machine will,
Yeah.
that's just something that's going to have to be manually done, and that's the cause of the.
Mr. Chair, I half agree with Vince. I have a suggestion on this, but just on the last point, that's the whole reason for the slowdown in the counting, is because when we're, what do you call it, not reconstituting, what do you call it?
You're replicating.
Replicating ballots, the machine stops. We're not counting any.
Yeah.
And you add up the considerable amount of time that it takes to replicate sometimes quite a number of ballots from a precinct, that's a long down period where you're not counting ballots. We've spent all this money on, well, federal money, I'm told, I believe, on, God, lock me up, on these, state-of-the-art equipment, and we're not using it to its full benefit. I would ask, my suggestion is, I would ask that council provide us with a short, doesn't need to be lengthy, but the statutory sites for our next meeting, so we can address, I think this is, with all respect, I think an unduly restrictive reading of the requirement. And I just think it's something we should look at. We're always complaining about being there until 3 or 4 once 9 in the morning. And, you know, our vendor's saying, guys, everybody else goes home early because they replicate while the machines run. And that's the, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the most difficult part of this is going to be, it may hold up tabulations, because we're not going to be able to reconcile every time we issue reports, right? Because in order for us to issue reports, we need to make sure that the manual count that is submitted is reconciled with the machine count. And if there is a discrepancy, we need to figure out why before we can release those reports. And so we're never going to reconcile if you have 20 that are not going to be counted until later on, and then we're not going to reconcile as each precinct. So
Wait a minute, why can't you submit if you want to release
Because those-
interim reports subject to reconciliation?
no, you can, but what I'm saying is you're not going to have, we're not going to be able to confidently say that each ballot that was manually counted has been counted by the machine. It's never going to reconcile if we have 15, 20 that need to be replicated, because they're not going to be counted until a later time when you guys are done. So at the end of the night, yes, it'll all reconcile, but as you release reports, it's not going to be reconciled.
Oh, as you release whatever.
So if you're okay with
initial
that,
results come
yeah.
in?
Yeah. I mean, if you release the interim results and say, subject to reconciliation, then, and at the end of the night, we have confidence that the numbers will be correct. All the reconciled ballots will have been counted, the software will have put them in the proper precincts, all the numbers should balance out.
Yeah, that's the thing, is you won't know until the end. So if you have
Okay,
500 that you need to
But the end will be much
replicate.
sooner. That's the kind of the beauty of it. Instead of being at 3 in the morning, people, instead of getting your interim report at 11 at night, if we keep running the machines, the tabulators, you might be ready to you might be very close to finalizing by 11 at night. Think about that.
I don't think that
Initial,
will happen,
yeah.
but you just have to, as long as you're okay with that,
Well, I mean,
I leave it
it's up
to
for
the-
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about it, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it was, Mike brought it up, and it's not that we're gonna, be there so late in the morning, but we want to make sure that every ballot that has to be replicated is accounted for at some point of that counting.
Maria,
We're
can
doing
you-
it now because it stops and we replicate it, then we put it back on, right?
Maria, can you verify with the vendor that that is
I
what
don't-
the software is designed to do, please?
And does it put it back into the proper precinct that it was? Yeah.
it
Well,
should, because each
Yeah,
ballot is
and that's cool.
tagged
Yeah, it's tagged,
with the precinct, right?
Each ballot style
yeah.
is coded on each ballot.
Do we have a number of this past primary? How many ballots had to be replicated or reconstructed or,
Yeah.
You do, because you have a log.
We have a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
With all this said, we were planning a work session, but we needed to get a date. So
Next
we were thinking about October, right? Oh,
How about next week?
next week? Are we okay for a work session next week, about 3 hours during the day? Yeah? Ricky?
Anybody's schedule next week? I'm not available Friday, but
Not Friday, okay.
any other days.
So next week is 23rd to the
23rd to the
26th.
26th.
Or 26.
So how about Tuesday or Wednesday?
Maybe Wednesday, the 25th?
Wednesdays are the worst for me.
Wednesday.
Thursday?
I'm sorry, Wednesdays are bad for you?
Oh, how about Tuesday?
Tuesday, the
September 24th? Or the 27th is a Friday? Friday's not good for you, right, Jerry?
Yeah, I'm,
Okay, so 26th. Thursday, I have chemo in the morning, but we can do it in the afternoon. 24th is good for you?
Tuesday, the 24th?
Pat, Tuesday, the 24th in the morning?
Tuesday or Thursday, did we say?
Okay.
Next week is a really open week for me.
Okay.
so-
So,
Anytime. I
would you
mean,
say, Benny, afternoon? Tuesday afternoon?
Ricky?
Should be
Vicky?
fine.
How's Thursday afternoon?
Thursday afternoon is good for me. Oh,
I can do Tuesday then.
Tuesday afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's Tuesday afternoon?
yes.
About
1:30?
1:30.
Okay. So I have you all afternoon.
Yeah, here, right? Yeah. Commissioner.
And what we'll, during this work session, we'll just go over what we do on election day, right? What you
Yeah.
do on election day, okay?
1:30?
1:30.
1:30 on
Here.
Tuesday, the
Tuesday, the
24th,
24th.
here, at the commission office. Yeah. Yeah, Commissioner Orsini?
Mr. Chair, I like where this discussion is going. If we look into this further and legal counsel, like Commissioner Seville mentioned, can provide us the citations by next meeting to really look into doing this more efficiently, I think the public, the voters, and the candidates would all appreciate it. So we can find a way to make that happen. I support it.
Okay, well noted. Okay, any further discussions on that? Let's move on to new business.
So,
On the first item there is the executive director's performance evaluation. I think
Yeah.
we've gone into executive session, right, for that? Before?
yes, but, okay, so we have two new members that have not gone through an evaluation with me. So what we did was we sent you, we put on your desk what we use, on your table, what we use for my evaluation. The evaluation is supposed to is supposed to be annually. The last time I was evaluated was April 2023. So I'm up for evaluation. So what we normally do is I do a self-evaluation, and then I share it with all of you, and then you evaluate me then. Okay? So I'll share that before the October meeting, if that's okay.
Okay, so you do a self-evaluation,
Right.
share it with us, and then we'll go into
Yes.
executive session to
Okay?
complete this evaluation.
And I just wanted to make sure you knew what form we use.
Yeah.
Okay? That's it.
Okay, any questions on that? Let's go on to the legal counsel's report.
Mr. Chair, I have nothing. There's
No
nothing
update
to
on that?
report on.
Okay.
Blissfully brief.
Yeah. Let's go on to public comments. Seeing none, then we'll go to the next meeting, October
17th?
17th, Thursday, right? At 5:30, is that okay
Ooh.
with everyone?
We're going through early voting already. Can
Yeah.
we make it 6:30 down at Weston? If that's okay.
So
You wanna
October
go to Weston?
17th, 6:30 at the Westin?
Yes.
Yeah, because our early
Uh-huh.
voting starts on the 14th, so we'll meet at the Westin at 6:30 on the 17th. Yeah, October 17th. Okay. Yeah, early voting site is at the Westin. Okay, seeing no other business, I entertain a motion then to adjourn. Commissioner
Move-
Orsini? Yes.
I move
go
to
ahead.
adjourn.
Commissioner Orsini, motion, second by Commissioner Meno. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Meeting is adjourned until October 17th at 6:30 at the Westin. Thank you.
It started and then stopped.
Oh, so it's not going on?
Well, we don't know. No, it's not.